America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was going to excuse me.
Now, it may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared.
This is your victory. Now, I know you didn't do this just to win an election. I know you didn't do it for me.
I think it's a
You did
shadow.
it because you understand the enormity of the task that lies ahead.
You're not gonna believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
TJ's sniffing out stuff over here, throwing me off.
Like a coon dog.
I'm Coach Casey. This is TJ. Behind me is Skin Man. This is the middle of the road. I'm going to kick you over to what I'd like to call a skintro.
Skintro.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. One of them is pissed off it's leg day, and the other one is happy his legs work today. It's the middle of the road with TJ and Coach Casey.
Oh, right. Nailed it. Yeah.
That's almost, it could be both of us, but my legs aren't really broken. So.
Little stumble in there, but man, he snuck that one home. What's up, buddy?
Nothing.
And
Everything's all nice, boring, and uneventful.
You did scare me a little bit because we had, just so we made sure he nailed the middle of the road, we had the shirt show and he had it written down and we had it there, so he was going to nail that.
He got it. So your back's better? No more broke back?
Skinman was supposed to be here last week and he threw out his back, so he's doing better. What have you been up to since last show, my friend?
Not a whole lot.
Is that me or Skidman?
That was you, but that's Skinman too.
Well, I had
both of you guys.
I had a solo weekend, and I was talking to Lee from work, and I said, I had a solo weekend. He's like, what'd you do? And I was like, I don't know. Nothing. I went to my parents' house.
Took me
and
a minute.
Watched basketball, I guess.
Did you have a Hope solo weekend or just
Han Solo?
Whole Han Solo. Yeah, okay. Did you watch any Star Wars?
I've been watching The Mandalorian.
Well, then, okay. Did you watch some of that? Would be a Han Solo weekend technically.
He wasn't in any of these episodes.
Well, I know,
but
it fits the theme.
Yeah, I just. So I've been watching.
Is that why you were texting me Friday? Did you want to hang out, or were you trying to see if I wanted to do something, or?
I don't remember.
Oh, we were texting, and I said.
Oh no, because I.
Oh, that was Saturday.
That
was Friday.
Friday.
Yeah.
I think I was just asking what was going on. I don't know. Oh, because I was trying to hint around about doing the show this weekend. But then you were like, Skidman's going to be here Monday, so I was like, well, never mind then. So
all right, well, we could.
I wanted him to be.
You could have came over Friday and did one with me and Smoothie.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to since the 3 weeks ago last show we seen you at?
The highlight of the last 3 weeks was I made some jalapeno poppers out on the smoker.
Oh,
ooh,
that's not a bad 3 weeks actually.
The jalapenos were so mild.
Yeah.
Like a whole roasted jalapeno didn't have the same spice as one nacho slice of jalapeno.
Huh. Did you roast the jalapeno out of it or what? Or smoke it out? I don't.
Skinman was telling me he's an active Catholic. And
you are.
So he's celebrating Lent. So he gave up something for Lent.
What'd you give up?
Well, he don't want to. Well, I don't know if you can say if you want to say. Can we say?
It was hard liquor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
God, I remember those days. Now that I'm a retired Catholic.
Now you don't.
I used to like give up like jerking off.
Isn't it like? Isn't it supposed to be meat? You give up traditionally.
No, meat is Friday.
Okay.
Meat is you don't eat meat on Friday and then you have to give something up. But can you do it on Sunday? I can't remember.
That's the new cheater way to do it.
Yeah, you can have your one day on Lent.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be like I'll give up, or you didn't necessarily have to give up, but maybe you could try to be better at something. Maybe it was like I would try to be better to my parents or try to get better grades or something like that. But like once I became
give up hitting my old lady.
Yeah. Well, now I didn't have an old lady.
Well, I mean, I'm just not
now,
you. I'm just saying
that's what I do
that
now.
would be a normal Catholic thing, I think. Or
yeah, I give up.
Give up drinking right before church.
Give up being a hypocrite for 5 minutes. You know, like I'll give up judging everybody who didn't show up to church today.
Yeah,
that's just not done.
Yeah, that'd
be impossible.
That would not
Look at
be
this late motherfucker.
an active celebrating
be like,
Catholic.
I noticed I came to church today and you weren't here. I'm better than you.
Well, that's not bad. That's an okay practice.
I mean,
you
that's
know,
just typical.
celebrating being better.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a list today. We'll see what we get to. And I know you said you had a bunch of stuff. I sent Skin Man some skin stories. On the list today, I had the origin of Skin Man.
Ooh, okay.
And we were going to get into that, where the name Skin Man came from, not where Skin Man came from. We'll get into that on a whole nother podcast.
There's not enough time for something.
Mama
like that.
Skin Man.
And then when we got to that, I wanted to maybe do a perfect day or a perfect date in Skin Man. I didn't know. I need to clean the floor a little better. I don't like that view. Put it up. Maybe go turn it up a little bit. So I wanted to do that. And then we were going to come up with a nickname for TJ. But then I had a kind of a joke with that. And then I had a podcast pitch for you guys. I wanted you guys, or maybe even a show, but I wanted you guys to be like the producers, and I want to pitch it to you.
Pitch an idea to us?
Yeah. And then see where we can go with that.
You know, before we even get started with that, I almost like this better where me and you, I show up late and we don't even talk about what we're going to do. So it's like, I just kind of just listen to what you're talking about.
This seems great. One guy does all the planning. And, no, I'm just joking with you.
Well, like that. I have my plans.
I'll do that next week.
Yeah.
No.
Then I have my plans and you have your plans, but we don't talk about it. So it's
that was exactly how that show we did for 12 years went.
Yeah.
The dueling podcast.
I did have 3 stories, whether we get to that or not. TJ's news, Skin Man has news. Can Coach Casey read stories? I went to a swamp meet this weekend, but I'm going to call it a swamp meet.
Swamp? Okay.
Because those were the people that were there. Had an indoor golf idea and a new rule for making meatloaf. And
I hated meatloaf growing up. And now I kind of like meatloaf. I've come up with this meatloaf recipe. I mean, I discovered a meatloaf recipe that I like, and I've made it. And
this is awesome. This is a perfect place to start.
My biggest hate in meatloaf growing up was my mom put onions in meatloaf. And anybody who knows me very well knows
you don't like onions.
I hate onions more than anything in the world.
I think that's what makes the meatloaf, but I don't know.
But we do not put onions.
So my new rule, while you're making meatloaf, you have to listen to Meatloaf. A power ballad for a power meat, So
meatloaf with big titties or meatloaf without big tits?
Either way, I mean, it can be whatever era of Meatloaf you want to listen to. I just think it should always be playing while Meatloaf, like if you're at a restaurant and they order meatloaf, the guy's like, all right, you hit the button and the meatloaf starts playing,
And if you don't have a button, then
and I meant to have meatloaf ready for that, but
dang it. What kind of meatloaf does VVLM?
Oh, I don't. They were just talking about it at work, and so it made me think today. I said,
could you make meatloaf out of like?
Yeah, they have vegetarian meatloaf. We've had it before. It's similar, actually. I mean,
you just gotta cover it in ketchup, and then
I mean, it looks
just as disappointing.
Yeah, it's just a brown loaf with a lot of ketchup on it, and I mean,
maybe some cheese in it.
And it might have just been meatloaf. I don't know. If it fits in the VVMFO category, it's fine.
How long do you think? Like, say, if I had a restaurant and I was promoting it as some kind of vegan vegetarian restaurant, but I was actually serving meat to people, like in like a hamburger type form, do you think I could get away with it? Like
not very long.
Like out of an average vegetarian vegan person.
Well, like the hardcores would come in no matter what real quick to shut you down because.
I mean, just say I blind plated people stuff, and I told you it was whatever the fuck it is that you guys eat.
But I'd nail it right away. I mean, I knew we had an episode 3 months ago where I ate meat on accident.
But you were suspicious.
I was 99% sure.
But say you 100% assumed
it was vegetarian.
That it was vegetarian.
I'd freak out even when we go places and you'll have like even the which like if you're a meat eater and you'll eat my stuff.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
But it doesn't taste the same. Still. But you're like, oh, it's not bad. It's close. But it's the same way for
the opposite way.
Yeah, I mean, like I mean, I think you would.
Tell.
I mean, you'd get some people with, especially like people that aren't like true vegetarians. They're like they want to be like, oh, look, honey, they got a meat-free option. And they go eat. They're like, man, this tastes just like a burger.
Yeah,
I'm gonna come back tomorrow eating more vegetarian.
So I guess probably the more it was spiced up, the less.
Yeah.
Like if it was in taco seasoning, kind of like how it got you.
Yeah.
It didn't get you, but
yeah, exactly.
Tricked you a little bit.
A burger I would get real quick.
Yeah.
I think real quick because there. And plus he had the burger and it's like you can feel it.
I've had the Burger King one.
Yeah. and it's not bad, but you know the difference. I mean,
Yeah,
just
I
plain
can
and
tell.
simple, you feel it. You
It's
burp
like-
it up different.
Mine is like immediately I have to shit right after I eat something. I don't know what it is.
the breakfast burritos do that to me. So that's all I had was making meatloaf, listening to meatloaf.
Well, my palate is not very distinguished because just today I got home from work and I made a sandwich, and youngest daughter comes up and she's like,
That's
what happened to the ham that was in the top shelf? It's like, oh, I made a sandwich. It's like, oh, Mom said that ham smelled bad.
well. Then why wouldn't you just throw it
And
away?
I just
How did it taste?
it was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
It
Well,
was-
we had a can of gravy that sat here for at least 4 years, and he ate it straight out of the can during
I
the
used a
show.
spoon.
Well, that's true,
Yeah.
but out of the
He's
can,
not- he's not an animal.
He's not a barbarian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, on cue, the origin of Skin Man. So we have people
Yes.
that have been listening. Skin Man's been showing up. We're 30-something episodes into the Middle of the Road podcast, and we introduced him as a guy from our other show. You know, a guy I did a show with. Where did the name come from?
Well, it came from the Conrad and Jack show
Okay.
because Conrad was reading what he had found in underground paper when he was out mowing, and nothing was spelled correctly in said pamphlet. Not really not even a newspaper. But it said so and so, aka Skin Man, had recently passed away, and I said someone has got to take that name.
Yeah.
And nobody did. So then a couple shows later, and then Conrad went around the room and it's like, "Well, how's your week? How's your week been, Zach?" And it's like, "Call me Skin Man." So he starts the entire show over again, from intro to asking everybody how their week was, and
That's how you became Skin Man. I thought it was going to be a lot more like some kind of
No,
weird
but like
thing about it.
it's
Well-
a completely fitting name. Like the more you get to know Skin Man, that's a Skin Man thing. That's
Yeah.
the
you
weird
know.
part about it is when I was growing up, when I was 4 years old, I would walk around town naked.
Oh. This is like in Colwich?
No, this was out in Murdoch, Kansas, which
Okay.
is 9 miles west of Cheney.
And
Okay.
he says when he growing up, he means last weekend.
When he
Well, I haven't
matured?
grown out of it.
Yeah.
'Cause-
You haven't grown out of it?
No.
No.
That's how he kept the name Skin Man, was because he stayed in the attire
Yeah.
and kept it afloat. So Coach Casey came about basically because of Skin Man. We were doing
Because you needed a nickname?
No, I don't even think we need. It's not so much I needed one. He did something. He's like, "All right, coach," or something. And because I coached at the time, and we had some stories about coaching, and I think because every time we tried to do something, I tried to boss people around.
Like, yep, classic Coach Casey.
Classic Coach Casey. So
Yeah.
it was more of a kind of a fitting, but a joke. And then it just stuck as well when me and him started doing shows, and when Conrad would kick it over to me. So then I told him before the show we were going to try to come up with a nickname for you, and I think we both came up with a great one. If we could agree on the one we came up with before the show, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I don't know what to
And it
think.
has to stick,
Don't
okay?
be nervous.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is, you have to stay with it, okay?
Okay.
We're going to go with TJ.
Okay.
No, we were joking because we were coming up with a whole bunch of names. We're
Because
like,
TJ technically is a nickname.
exactly. That's what we
Yeah.
said. He's like, I said, well, TJ wanted a nickname really bad. And he goes, I don't really know his real name. Is it TJ a nickname?
Yeah.
And I said, exactly.
Mhm.
You know, it's because it's
Well,
not
in
your
the-
real
In
name.
the late 70s, there was a show, TJ Hooker.
Yeah.
I
I
tried
get-
for
He-
tried for a while. Me and Amy. I mean,
He
I
drove
came
a
up
semi.
Yeah.
when I
I've
did
heard that a lot.
when I did the intro for us, I came up with Trendy TJ
Mhm.
or TJ's trending, or it's one will either come or it won't. You
Yeah.
know, a nickname's not something you create. So
I get TJ Hooker, or somebody will say that, or a lot of people call me Tej. Like, and I finally figured that out was from DJ Tanner from Step by Step. They called her Deej. So a lot.
that's not from Step by Step.
Yeah.
DJ Tanner's not.
Full House.
There you go.
Sorry,
I was
Full
gonna
House.
say.
But a lot of people, even guys that met me like on the pipeline, be like, "What's up, Tej?" Like,
Right.
that just kind of, I've heard that from all different kinds of people.
I don't think I can ever call you Tej.
I don't know.
I
It's
might-
just kind of something.
Oh,
It's more girls will call me that, like my wife, or actually my wife's never called me
I was
that,
gonna say I don't see
like-
her calling you that.
just maybe friends, like people I grew up with call me Tej. So
No, I've just called you either gay or TJ.
Yep.
Or T-gay.
Or T-gay. I've had that a lot too.
And I was going to, but that's not a, Coach Casey and T-gay.
Yeah.
That doesn't have a great ring to it. Do we want to do a story or do we want to do my idea for a podcast?
Whatever. I have some stuff too, so however you want to do it.
Well, you tell me.
Let's do your podcast pitch.
All right. You guys got your producer hats on?
Hold on.
I
do.
We're going to pitch this 2 ways to you guys, okay? So picture this. It's a podcast where I'm driving the roadside and I pick up hitchhikers.
Ooh, I have something about hitchhikers.
Okay, well, it's fitting. It's live. It's kind of monitored, or I tell them that, and we're getting watched by GPS.
So that way they don't kill you.
Exactly.
Or rape you.
So basically it starts out as, where are you going? And they're, like this started out because I seen somebody going to Salina the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, all right, so you pull up and you go.
Where you headed?
Yeah, where you headed? All right, just so you know, we got a camera in here.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a podcast. You'll earn time depending on either how interesting your story is, or we're gonna come up with like some games you'll have to play
it's
to
like
earn
Cash
time.
Cab.
I just was gonna say that as one of my names, Cash Cab for hitchhikers.
Mm-hmm. So like you get the first question wrong, you don't even make it off the off ramp. Get the fuck out.
Yep, you're done. Or you got 3 tries, but it could end up worse.
So
they could be at a nice intersection. Because like this guy, I was gonna offer him to just actually move him up. He was at my entrance, like going north, and if he would have went up one more, he's at the Quick Trip one.
Yeah.
Way better
Sure,
to sit at. If he wanted to go to Salina, it said going to Salina.
Yeah.
And I just think it's way better,
So
And
like you pick him up and you're like, "What's 2 + 2?" And he says, "Thomas Jefferson,
And I'm
sucker."
like,
and you gotta.
all right, you're out, bud. Get out.
Yeah.
But I just thought it would be awesome if, like, but it would even just be almost as funny if as an hour into it, their time's up. They end up in a worse place, further away from nowhere.
Like
You've went off. You get lost, because you're.
Yeah.
We don't take highways on Cash Cab hitchhikers.
Yeah.
We take dirt roads.
I like this podcast idea so far.
It might end up in Detroit. Nobody wants that.
But okay, so that was idea number 1, and basically
I like it.
Number 2 was I'm the rider, and I hitchhike with my gear, and it's how long. It's basically a podcast of me trying to get from wherever I start. I got to start I'm trying to get to LA from here, and it's just me trying to get picked up. And same thing, I'm GPS, I'm monitored in case the truck driver tries killing me.
Yeah.
So would that be called pod hiking?
Yeah, I had a couple things. I had America Hiked, Hitched, but I think that's already been taken. Hitched America, and then I did have Cash Cab for hitchhikers. That was the first one. The second one, I was just going to call it poddling. I don't know. Pod hiking?
Yeah, poddling's good.
So what do you think people would be more interested in?
I think the first one. Adam on TikTok wants to know is this the soup kitchen? Love that idea.
Yes, we are the soup kitchen guys.
That's us.
Well, we've done one time, and nobody will ever let us forget about it. We did a soup kitchen one time.
Yeah.
And nobody will let us forget about it. So, well,
I think I like the idea of the first one.
I told Amy I was going to try to get crowdfunding or whatever you want to call that to start this show.
Yeah.
And see if, because I'm going to need some sponsorship. Would you listen to that show? You might meet an interesting person. It may be one episode where it's one guy it's a 4-part episode or whatever. Maybe one guy because he lasts the whole time. And you might get to meet 4 different people because
the first thing you're going to want is a bulletproof vest. And possibly stab-proof as well.
I was thinking maybe like.
Well, maybe we do this in like.
Plugs.
Okay, so maybe we do this in like a say a Ford Transit van where I have a seat set up in the back and I have a cage, so I let him in the back.
Well, who drives?
Me. I'm in the front and they're in the back. That's what I'm saying.
You lock them in the back.
Yeah,
so
to
it's
where
like they're in jail.
A safety thing for me.
Yeah.
This is safety. But at the whole time, I could be stealing. See, you haven't got this the whole time. I'm taking them on dirt roads. They shouldn't be. It's that whole thing. The odds of 2 serial killers being in the car at one time is not very good.
Yeah, I never know.
So I don't know. I'd listen
like
to
it. Eject button for when they miss the question. shoot them out.
Or just like a zap them or that gasses them real quick and then you just drop them off on the side of the road.
Yep, that'd work.
I was on Cash Cab hitchhiking. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
I made it 46 miles on Cash Cab.
Actually, they've already done this. It's called Death Car.
Okay, well.
Remember that movie?
Yes.
And like the bad thing is that he took me 46 miles in the wrong way.
I know.
I'm trying to go to Salina. I'm in Hayesville now. What
That's
the
what I
fuck?
said. I think it would be great on all angles. You mess it up. You're like, by the way, you set your like GPS and it's like, and it says, please make a U-turn, and you just keep going. Like,
just keep
this
going.
thing is off.
Turn around now. This thing don't.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Douglas, Kansas.
Yeah, how'd I end up at D-Town? What the hell?
Well, I had my first date night this weekend in a long time. I mean, without a significant other or where we didn't do a podcast or do something. And Smoothie came and hung out. So we just watched basketball. And the only thing good about it was between the drinking and Smoothie's company, it didn't hurt my feelings as bad that Wichita State sucked butt, lost, and fired their coach.
Well,
So-
you're going to get Turgeon back.
I doubt that.
I saw that, but I doubt it.
No, I heard we're going to get Kelvin Sampson's son's the
Oh, yeah?
leading candidate probably. So that'd be interesting. Young blood. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Did you have any stories?
I got some stuff for us here.
And then we'll go to Skin Man. He has a couple, I know.
All right. So did you know what Doc from Back to the Future's first name is?
Emmett.
Do you know what Emmett spelled backwards is?
Time?
Yeah.
Was it spelled like that? Just E-M-I-T or was
I
it
think
E-M? That's not how you.
E-M-M-E-T-T.
That's how they got it here. Emmett Brown. E-M-I-T.
Well, that would make sense.
It'd be funny. Emmett is time backwards.
Okay.
Great Scott.
That's true. Now we've established it.
Yeah. So we were already kind of talking about hitchhikers and stuff. At what point do you see a beggar on the side of the road and you're like, "Aw," like what does it take for you to feel sorry? What about a chick?
It works. I have not done in quite a while the roadside give money. I'm more the quick trip, outside quick trip. So
Those are the people I hate the most. Like, especially because where I work at downtown, where my office is anyways, I have on Washington, the quick trip there, Washington.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There's always homeless people.
That's
there.
a crotch rocket one is what I call it.
And
But,
I'm like, ugh, when I got to walk in there because they're always there. And
well, that's different.
I saw some quick trip chick, like a good-looking little blonde-haired girl, just chewing some dude's ass. She was like,
so I guess
he
that
was
one's
getting out of there.
that one's different because that's the true, usually homeless. The ones that by mine and are more the transient one. That's
Okay.
the passerby trying to get through. They usually have the dog with them, and that's where I was gonna say
That gets ya?
the ones on the side of the road that get me are the ones that have a dog with
Yeah,
them.
there was a
And I'll usually pull over and I'll like pour a bowl or pour some water.
so you're
and,
wanting
like,
to give to the dog.
yeah. Like-
I figured that's what was going on. I
Here,
figured.
share this
Share
with
this
your
with
friend.
yeah. Hold on. You finish first, and then let your owner
Yeah,
have some.
yep.
And I always start with the dog treats, and if I'll know if they're really hungry if
They'll
the
eat the
person
dog
goes
treat.
for them before the dog.
Yeah.
Then
I
I'll
always
get.
think about, like, I see them
That's
on the
fucked
west
up.
side a lot, where these guys are, where they be staying at.
Uh-huh.
And we got that Pawnee Park Woods or whatever that is
Yeah.
over there. I think they live back in there because
Well,
we go back and play in the or climb trees and stuff
Uh-huh.
with my kids, and we'll see like ruffians about.
Well,
in
that's right on the exit I get off on right at I don't even know Hillside and that quick trip right there.
Mhm.
There's that park right there and
Yeah.
the woods all back there. I know they stay back there and they're always there. But the veteran thing gets me every once in a
Yeah.
while. I mean, I'll pull over if I got purse change or whatever, but I don't hardly ever have cash on me.
Purse change, that's for sure.
Well, I do have my Merce, and I got
Your
change
Merce.
in it, so.
Okay, switching gears. Cheer coach Jennifer Hawkins, 45 years old, allegedly had sex with her daughter's 16-year-old boyfriend 300 times.
God damn, that's like that. I knew a buddy in high school. They used to go sneak away like 3 times a day, like before school, at lunch, and after school. Him and his girl would bang, and it wasn't believed until she confirmed it. But
Yeah.
they got probably close to those numbers in a year.
An Oklahoma cheerleading coach has been arrested for allegedly having sex with her daughter's 16-year-old boyfriend more than 300 times. Jennifer Hawkins, 45, was taken into custody on
300 times in a row or 300 total? Let's get
I
to
don't know.
That's a good way to start a fire.
Yeah. Jennifer Hawkins, 45, was
But
taken
at
into
16, I
custody.
could do it.
Yeah, I don't know. She's taken on second-degree rape and sexual battery charges on Wednesday after the alleged 5-year sexual relationship.
So that means
he was
11. Now that's fucked up. If it started when he was 16 and went to he was 21, that's beautiful.
Wait,
Okay, he
back it
is
up.
now 21.
He's now 21. He
All
told
right.
investigators that
That's
Hawkins
just
The other way.
that's
First
just love.
prompted him for sex in 17 when the then sophomore was dating her daughter. He alleges that he had sex with Hawkins at her home almost every day during his lunch break throughout his sophomore and junior year.
I'll get to her. Oh, what?
Dude, in high school, you would smash that 1,000 times.
Man, I was smashing hotter moms than that.
I don't know. You would do it.
We'll have to go back and get some pictures of some of the moms.
He provided authorities with text messages the pair had sent to each other, including ones in which Hawkins would allegedly become enraged when the teen was observing other females. So she was jelly of him, too.
I would imagine.
I mean,
Usually,
not
that's the
alone
way
their daughter.
That's the way those ones get. Yeah, and like she was probably that one like you guys don't sit too close while you know or whatever.
So I wonder if he was banging the daughter at all.
I don't know. I wish they showed a picture of her because she's now 21. So
Of the daughter?
yeah, I'd like to know.
What'd she look like?
I mean,
I want to know what he looks like.
Probably half as ugly as the mom.
I guess they're calling it a minors thing because when it started,
But
they
what?
were
Okay, I've seen this before, and
certain states. I don't know if that is. I don't know when it's 17 for sure in some states, but
when does this? And you try to argue about this online, people will be like, "What about your daughter? What would you think?" This is the opposite way. This is my son. If I had a son, and he was like, "Dad, I've been having sex with so and so's mom," I would be like, "Dude."
well, if
You're
it
the
was
fucking
like
man, but
if
what kind
it's
of-
something like forced on him or he does feel uncomfortable or it was that thing where she's using it against him or anytime a 35 or a 40, even the women that I may or may have not messed around with in high school are having sex with somebody that young, it is manipulation. Now, like there's a couple that Saturday Night Live thing with Pete Davidson that goes around where he's in court.
He's like,
And like
"Yeah."
what? Like they made fun of you. They called you some nicknames. Can you think of something? He's like
Fucking stud.
Yeah, like stud. Sir
Badass.
does all the moms.
Yeah.
Coolest guy in the world. Congratulations.
Yeah. I just.
But
I don't know how anybody could make me go, "Oh,
I don't know. As a parent, like if Isaac came to me, who's now just turned 18, and said, "There's been a teacher at school for that I did kind of want to mess around with once, and then she put me in a weird situation and made me feel like I had to, and she's been manipulating me or something."
And you'd be like, first of all, what's your grades in that class?
Yeah, I was gonna say you better at least have an A.
Yeah.
If you're
Yep.
not, then no.
Better up that game.
I don't know. I mean, I think that is a young, formidable mind, and it's still probably not cool, but it is. Like for me, it was cool. I was most of the time taking advantage of them. I was.
Yeah, I mean, those guys that you were having sex
Yes.
with were.
Yeah, that's not fair to them.
Yeah.
So
Well, so this is.
where do you
another-
stand on it?
Oh, I think it's completely wrong.
Thank you.
Doesn't matter.
I think it's
you're-
wrong.
If you're banging a kid, you're banging a kid. Doesn't matter if you're male, female.
Yeah.
But
whatever.
so if he
What
wants,
if you were the kid, though?
but so when you were 17 and 36-year-old chick,
Oh, that'd be gross.
You wouldn't want to have done it when
No.
you were that age?
you didn't have no Man,
Desires?
Because
We
I was
had-
banging as a senior when I was a freshman.
well, I was too, but that
She
wasn't.
was ugly as hell.
Yeah,
I was banging
same.
as a senior as a freshman.
But that ran out, and then like there was like 4 or 5 teachers I wanted to, and then like buddies, or not buddy, just like moms, and I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, I always had that thing for older chicks.
So, obviously, you did it.
Maybe allegedly,
Allegedly.
allegedly,
I would have 1,000% done it if I could have got a hold of some of it.
yeah. I think you're half. It's half dudes. It's both ways. But as a parent now, from the other side of it, I see it. I could completely agree with him.
Mhm.
Like that's where I said to you, if it was my son,
Yeah.
if he came and said, I'm in love with her, even then it's still messed up because, no, you're not. You were 16, 17, she's 30-something.
Yeah.
You're probably not really in love with her. So there's a lot of angles it's wrong. But again, it's, if you had the understanding of sex that I did at 16, that it was sex and I
Yeah.
wasn't in love with none of them, or 17 or whatever, then it's different. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, so to spin this story, Minnesota dad kills elderly sex offender with moose antler. A Minnesota dad confessed to killing a sex offender he believed had once stalked his toddler daughter. And
It was an elk, but okay.
and even finished him off with a moose antler. Levi Axtell, 27, walked into a police station on March 8th, covered in blood, fell to his knees and told the cops he fatally beat Lawrence V. Scully, 77, with a shovel.
Well, that's not moose antler. Oh, he finished
He
it.
added he finished the job with the moose part, he allegedly told cops. With his hands on his head, Axtell then demanded to be handcuffed and threatened to hurt others if he wasn't restrained. The Cook County Sheriff said they found Scully dead inside his home in Grand Marais, about 2 hours north of Duluth. I think I've been there before. I don't know if that's the one, but that's a picture
That's
of
a picture of a
antler.
moose antler.
Yep.
It looks elk to me.
A
But
witness called 911 after seeing someone smash a car in Scully's drive and run into the older man's home. The witness then heard screaming, according to authorities. Scully had been convicted of molesting a 6-year-old in 1979. The pair had a long history of conflicts, according to the reports. In 2018, Axtell accused Scully of stalking and attempting to groom his then toddler daughter at daycare. What a sick fuck. I would kill somebody with anything I had if they did anything to my...
So I agree with you, but if it was the thing where it was because you heard he was and the dude did his time, and I'm not saying whatever. If you ever touched a 6-year-old, you're a horrible person. But it also sounds like this guy might have had some issues if he's never had. I mean, if he did his time and all. I mean, so I'm not advocating for either one of them, other than.
I'm sorry it didn't happen sooner.
I know, that's where I think.
So after this happened, Axtell posted.
I'm surprised it didn't happen in prison.
On Facebook, the only cure for pedophiles, a bullet.
Yeah.
Axtell was arraigned Friday on second-degree murder as being held on a $1 million bond.
But under that same case, then you should be cheering for that mom to get the same thing that guy got.
Nah, because this is like little kids. I'm just saying, if I was a teenage boy, I'd be like, hell yeah.
I know.
And if anyone has ever seen the movie Bone Tomahawk, this dude got off easy.
Bone Tomahawk? I think I have seen that.
On a lighter note, we're going to go to some skin news.
Yeah, I do have one more story.
Is yours a mean one, or is it is it raping little kids or killing sex offenders?
This is like
news.
There's a theory that the Great Pyramid of Giza was actually a prehistoric electric power plant.
Yes.
We should never stop studying and thinking about the Great Pyramid of Giza. We shouldn't go more than 12 hours without bringing it up in conversation. Nobody knows how old it was, how it was built, the purpose of it, and all the little facts like this one.
Pause. New test starting tomorrow. Can each of us keep it going every 12 hours, bringing up the Pyramid of Giza?
We could.
Unpause.
I could say we could do that within our group message that only me, you, and Ivy
No,
and Skin
I just
Man
want it's
group
an honesty thing. You got to
need
bring
a
it up
new
with
one.
your wife. You got to bring it. Yeah, we'll come up with our own. But
We need a new one.
all right.
They just found another chamber last week. The structure might be 12,000 years old, and we are still learning basic things about it.
I've seen this. I didn't know that was the Giza pyramid.
Yeah, scientists reveal a 9-meter-long hidden corridor close to the main entrance of the 4,500-year-old Great Pyramid. So
What's great is they just discovered it, and it's near the main entrance.
yeah, it's
We,
right there at the
we've
door.
got to look there, right? Next
2004.
where were the keys? Where were the keys? Where were the keys at?
Yeah. Was it a power center? I don't
By the
know.
dresser.
But Nikolai Tesla certainly thought so, and he's a lot smarter than me. Sounds, chemicals, vibration, and conductors. It makes sense to me. I don't know really how any of this shit actually works, but the way it explains feels like we should have free wireless energy everywhere.
He didn't say shit in his story, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
You ad-libbed that.
No, right there. I
Oh,
don't.
man.
He actually said, "I don't fucking know." But
That's crazy. But I was
this
gonna.
is Barstool.
I was
by the
gonna
way.
say I've been.
This isn't
okay.
like New York
not
Times.
real noise. I was gonna say I've been
Yeah.
driving my new Tulsa car.
Yeah. So I definitely believe that there's some sort of more purpose to these pyramids, and
Oh, for sure. There's no. Well, and also like it's
there's
been.
no way we could have built them by ourselves.
I was gonna say
without-
that's the other thing. Without
aliens.
either, I don't even know about without aliens, but like they had some sort of machinery or like
that's like
time traveler.
I've
or,
heard on, and yeah, because I like that kind of stuff. That basically we've gotten so
Although-
far in technology, and then it's been wiped out.
Yep.
Start back over again.
And that's what you
And-
wonder is like, were there wars or things around that time? Because that's when we kind of think time started.
Mhm.
Was there things that we, there's proof now that there was probably some more advanced things going on before that. They just hadn't.
Wakanda.
Yeah, but it hadn't probably spread to certain parts of the world yet, or even like if you believe some of the old.
I've asked Lee how to get to Wakanda, and he won't.
He won't tell you. No, it's a family secret. If you believe like old like the tales of like Lemuria or like Atlantis or whatever, where possibly the 7 continents were 2 land masses at one point that separated what destruction, what could have fallen into the world in the time that
we
that
could
happens.
do like a whole podcast on that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we won't though.
That's all I've got for Wakanda news.
All right, Skin Man, do you have a couple stories in skin news?
Yes. A vegan from Maine whose custom license plate contained the word tofu is one of the motorists caught in the state crackdown on vulgar tags. The car owners across the United States can pay an extra fee to customize license plates, sparking creativity and personality, but causing headaches for state officials who have to decide what's acceptable.
I'll tweet out the tag after the show or Facebook. Nobody wanting to watch us on the talker, huh?
I guess not.
That happens.
I've got a great face for radio. Maine had several years allowed people to put just about any combination of letters and numbers on their vehicle plates, including words and phrases that other states would ban. But the state of Maine decided to change course, and this year recalled 274 plates.
Wow.
It deemed inappropriate. Maine is not that big.
It's dense.
so-
I would like to know how many total like
By the way, if I
vanity
could
plates
live
there are.
anywhere, it'd be Maine. That's one of my favorite states.
You were there for quite a while.
Yeah. No, well, I've just been there several times. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had.
Justin lived there first.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Sorry.
Some of the people are fighting back. So far, the state has rejected all of the appeals, including the one brought by the vegan whose license plate referenced tofu.
Read us the plate, or is that down
letters.
further?
It's all capital, and it's LUVTOFU.
And how did I read it? I mean, I read it the same way.
Is that how tofu is spelled, though?
I
Is it
think
you?
so. TOFU, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. But it reads I love to FU.
No, it's just love to FU.
Yeah, love to
F you.
yeah, love to FU. And that's how I read it. And then it wasn't until I did actually earlier at work. I got it because I read the story. But he's like, tofu.
I think that's the way I read it, too. When
I know, right? When I showed it to you.
Yeah.
So did they get his plate back? Is that the end of it?
No, it's still an ongoing process.
Huh. You would think that would be pretty cut and dry.
What's that? Do you guys ever watch Seinfeld where Kramer gets ass man plates?
Uh-huh.
And everybody's like, hey, ass man. He's like, what's up? And it was like whatever they call him, doctor, some kind of doctor.
Yeah,
right?
the doctor's
Yeah.
car or whatever.
Yeah. Podiatrist? No, that's football.
Proctologist.
Proctologist, yeah.
There you go. They're the butt doctors.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the spin doctors.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have one more for us?
I do. An African serval cat was found with cocaine in its system after an escape at a traffic stop.
And I titled this one, okay, this shit's gone too far. First cocaine bear, now cocaine cat.
That'd be a wild fucking cat, man.
What kind of cat was it?
Serval.
It looked like a
It looks like a leopard.
yeah, a lynx or a leopard or whatever.
Yeah, it's
70
yellow
or
with
100 pound cat, man.
with the black stripes or black dots.
Not to be confused with the White Stripes.
Another great band.
Jack Black is in the White Stripes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Black Cat is in the
No.
It was found with cocaine in its system after an escape at a traffic stop. Now calls the Cincinnati Zoo home. It's worded weird. Much to the
Now, was he
delight-
driving or was somebody else driving? Because that would be the story should be titled different if the cat was driving.
The
No,
cat was not driving.
the
That
cat
cat
was
probably
not
doesn't have a
driving.
driver's license.
It can't reach the pedals. It has no thumbs to turn.
Okay, and cocaine in its system, so it wouldn't be safe.
Yeah. The Wildcat story trended online where users relished in the absurdity of the horror comedy, which riffs on the true story of a 170 175-pound black bear that was found dead near a duffel bag and some $2 million worth of cocaine. Social media users have dubbed the Serval cocaine cat. The slender feline made its escape after its owner was pulled over by police on January 28th. According to local animal control officials, it leapt from the car into a tree 85 feet.
85 feet?
With the power of the cocaine.
I was gonna say with that much cocaine in this system,
It had
man.
nothing. It didn't say anything about 85 feet.
Oh, goodness gracious.
You tell it better when you say it like that.
Yeah,
though.
you did. Did you guys see? I was trying to scroll through my Twitter feed. That guy that found all that coke in his tire, he had a blowout, and there was like $150,000 worth of coke.
That's crazy.
It was like a black guy too, because he was probably like, "Man, should I call
Freaking
this
out,
in?
yeah.
They ain't gonna believe me."
Well, that's crazy because it's not like, I mean, you either had to buy a new car, they transported that way. That doesn't even look like a new car. It's like somebody stole your car, did that, because there's just no way.
He must have like bought it from some shit car lot or something like that.
That got it transported. That's what I'm saying. It has to
or
be
from an auction or something.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
transported in that way, and
Yeah.
they meant to buy it back. They've been waiting for him. Somebody else bought the fucking.
He's like, "Hey man, I
Hell
got
yeah.
this flat tire over here, and goddamn coke
I got
in
this
there.
car for $1,500 and man.
$120,000 worth of cocaine.
I don't
in
ever
his
get
tire.
that lucky, man. If anything, I find like trash or something in my walls when I get into
Yeah.
them.
Or mold. It's mold.
So he's in the Cincinnati Zoo. They didn't say that he did not have cocaine in him. I mean, it was in his system, but not. He wasn't like stuffed full of cocaine.
In my opinion, the most interesting part of this story is in Ohio, it's illegal to own animals which can weigh up to 40 pounds.
Well, I mean, I think they're only doing that because if not, then you can get like wild animals.
It's like you can't have a Great Dane in Ohio?
Well, I think you probably could. You just can't. It has, maybe
Or
you need.
are they just hating on pit bulls?
What are you laughing about? Oh, you can't.
I want to read this so
You
bad,
can't.
but I can't.
You can't. If you had Lee here, he wouldn't even.
Maybe I could just say it, like without saying it.
Yeah, but it's a brother saying it, so it's even.
It'd be like when I read the songs.
Yeah, but so you're gonna do it as a white guy reading them?
No, I'm gonna do it. In
White
the
guy
voice.
reads.
No, I'm gonna do it in the voice. I just won't say that one.
Well,
word.
but when you're reading the songs, you were doing was
Okay,
a
I
white
can do a
guy.
white guy
So white
voice.
guy reads
Okay.
a black guy's text
Yeah,
or rap text. Is that?
yeah. You
We're watching the video of it, and this is somebody's tweet.
you a N-word that just found bricks of coke in yo tire, and the first thing you gon' do is call the police. Now they fittin' be watching yo every move. It's like N-words be wanting to get locked up. Hell, he was better off just throwing that shit in the woods and calling a tow truck or something.
Maybe, but he probably gonna get on video and get pulled over on that too. I think he was advocating for him to either keep it or
I think that's exactly what he was saying. You should keep it like, hey man, no one's gonna believe you.
yeah, they're gonna find a way to bust you. They're gonna find something else, or like they're gonna search the rest of the car now and find it, and then like obviously it was gonna be stuffed in the seats too, or
They're gonna be like, hey bud, we're gonna have to do a full body on you, cavity search, just so you know.
Well, I think Skinman had one more story we'll do in a second, but I thought of a great idea at work today, and then I did some research on it, and apparently this may have been done already.
The thing already.
So, like, Top Golf is huge. It's going up everywhere, right?
Do you know anybody that's been yet here? In
Not
town?
my boss just went this weekend. That's what kind of brought this up, was that it was packed and that they didn't build it big enough, and it was, good time and all that. So we went in Vegas.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
We had a good time. Two of the guys didn't, but we had varying experiences in our experience there. But I had a good time. A lot of drinking,
I was told I couldn't smoke a cigarette outside.
Whoa. Were you supposed to smoke it at
and
inside?
we were outside, and they wouldn't.
Oh, you can't smoke out here.
They wouldn't let that go, so that was part of
Okay.
it. So I came up
crushed it out with my fingers, and she looked at me like I was an animal.
listening to him talk, and like the 4 or 5 people that I've heard talk about it, not one person has said that they enjoy the outdoor experience or any of that. They say they like the golf, the drinking and the service or what the food and stuff. So I thought we'd just do a bar that's fake.
Yeah.
I thought we'd just do a bar that has a whole bunch of those indoor driving things set up. You just got like 20 of those or whatever, and they're just the screens. You figure out the cheapest setup you can buy, and then we do a bar and we call it like bar golf or something like that. And then I realized they've been doing them. Nothing around here. I think one place had like 2 screens you could do
There's
it at.
a place on Greenwich.
So then I thought maybe I'll spin this off and we just do like a themed bar or like trend bars where it changes to things like that, where that's the hot thing. Then we sell that and move it to another state or sell it to.
I got an even better idea.
What's that?
Well, it'd be outdoors still too.
Okay.
So you can do this.
Cocaine and tigers?
Yes.
Okay.
So you could do this 2 ways. You can either be the hitter or the runner.
Okay.
So
are we hunting people?
Kinda.
All right, I'm in.
So it'd be kind of like hard target.
Okay, we talked about that.
Except for you don't have to have a mullet.
And I can stay white.
And you can. No, he's white. Van Damme's white.
Oh, sorry. You're a hard target. I was thinking of
Not Die Hard.
No, there's one where they hunt iced tea on there.
No, this is the one where they do the homeless people.
Okay.
In Louisiana, catches the fucking snake that comes down at him with Van Damme with his sick mullet. Anyways, so you could pay money, so you could be the. It'd be kind of like, you ever seen Apocalypto?
Yeah.
You know where they have them run and the dudes are running like in zigzags and they're throwing spears and shit at them?
Yeah.
You could be the guy on the ground and like say you got to make it to the flag or whatever. And if you make it, you get the prize, whatever it is. Say let's just call it $100. Okay? And then
you're basically just describing a gladiators outdoor, but go ahead.
But we're doing it with golf. We're doing it with golf balls. So the top golf type guys are up there and they're firing balls at them. Now, if they hit them, they win.
Okay.
But you're the guy. You just get a helmet.
Okay.
And you got to like zigzag or whatever.
A course there or
you
something.
What is it? You got to do the 5 Ds.
Dive, duck, dodge, and dive.
And dick.
Dive,
And
duck,
dick,
dodge.
yeah.
No dick in there.
Okay, I think there is.
Yeah, that's just one of the 5 things you want to do.
Oh, one of the 5, my favorite Ds. But
deep,
yeah,
dick, down,
dirty,
doom,
duck.
Yeah. So you got to make it.
Ducks twice, by the way.
You probably get
Or
a helmet. Maybe you get a helmet.
You probably get like just a suit, some sort of suit.
A full-faced helmet.
I think some
like
sort
what the bull riders wear, where it's like.
Yeah, but they even.
No, you don't get that.
I think you do.
I don't think so.
I think it's like a.
It's gotta hurt.
Yeah, but I think we switch it up and like we every once in a while those guys get paintball guns, and then you
either way, any type of non-lethal firing.
Well, we
squad.
could switch it up like on like Friday nights if you want to really bet. You can step it up to the
So like you could
with
go
a golf ball and they're using drivers at you.
Or like on American Gladiators where they have that. But you could be like, okay, so if you make it on just this, on golf balls, it's.
And I like that we don't even. He thinks we just get a helmet.
I think that's fair.
Well, let me drive a golf ball at you from like 50
but that's
yards.
the point.
Well, I know, but
it's gotta hurt.
Well, I think it would hurt even if you have a decent suit.
Okay, so you want to go like in like the dog running suit?
No, not in that thick. I'm talking about like
coveralls.
Yeah, there we go, something like that.
Okay.
Something with a little bit of Running Man outfit or something.
Well, yeah, but the Running Man, that's just fucking spandex, bro. You just be out there at the gun show.
Well, maybe then that's good enough. Then
Yeah,
maybe. Just,
you get a cup
as long as there's in a uniform. Then I don't care. It don't have to be protected now. Maybe
so
elbow pads.
Okay, so say you
knee
just
pads.
Go helmet, no suit, and you got, let's say,
how far away are they? Do I have any obstacles behind?
You're starting off on the side, and you got to run in the
from one side to the other.
The thing's in the middle.
50 yards away.
Let's call it 100 yards.
Okay.
The course is 100. The flag is
in
the middle.
You got 60 people shooting at you.
I don't know. What do you think's fair? 12, 10?
Where's the bottleneck? Because you got to slow them down to really.
I mean, and you don't got
thin out the crowd.
Yeah, there's got to be like somewhere where there's got to be like some things you can stop at, and then gaps. Cause
there's stuff.
Or maybe it's just a dead sprint across the whole way.
Yeah. Either way, what would you do it for? What would you be the guy in the helmet for?
I don't know.
Would you do it for 100? If it was golf balls?
Oh man.
Skate
if
man,
I was
would you
the
do
first
it for 100? No?
I was gonna say, if
No.
I was the first person to go and I didn't watch somebody else get whacked with them,
You didn't see the first guy just get destroyed?
fucking late. Because
Yeah.
once you go down, they're not stopping driving at you.
What if it was
until they
like,
can't? Until like the people are like, stop! You have to drop bring some nets up or something.
Yeah. what if it was like 12 Aaron Rodgers throwing footballs at you?
No.
I think it'd be scary if it was like 12 pitchers throwing.
Or yeah, something like that.
You were-
12
just anything.
Nolan Ryan's throwing
Yeah.
balls at you.
Freaking even don't matter. Eggs and freaking
Yeah,
sting.
whatever
you.
it would hurt.
I don't know. I'm into it. I don't know what I would. You'd have to. It'd have to be more of a what would you pay? Like
Okay, so
I do it for $1,000.
wouldn't do it for 100?
I don't think so.
No, that wouldn't
No,
be the bill.
it wouldn't be worth it.
500?
I don't think so.
So
Again,
1,000's your minimum?
yeah. I mean, like 20 years ago.
What would you pay to be the guy up top?
That's true because that's where you got to get your pot from to pay the other
Yeah.
guy, and then you got to make some money off of it
So like you pay $5 to be the guy up top,
per round.
and then you get such if you
That's
get
where
the
I think
hit.
it's like $25 and you get 5 rounds or something where you get 5 runners. So it's $5 and you get say 15 balls or 10 balls. That would be the hardest thing. You need to have something set up to quick load balls. That would be the hardest thing.
Well, so say you got like say it's a golf ball and there's like after you hit it there's one that loads in.
Yeah, because that'd have to be something like that so you could get some rocket fire if you're doing this with
I like
golf
this
balls.
idea.
Yeah,
I
I'm in
think-
it.
I think we could. I think we just commandeer Top Golf.
Well, no, I think we could probably we could start out with ditch people to work it anyway, and we could
Yes.
do something. We've already got a hill built right out here.
Yeah, I did see the gate was down when I came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People have been riding out there like crazy, but we've already got the hill here.
Yeah.
So we've got our first level
So
built.
we're up. Yeah.
So we're up and going.
So, like,
we could do a test run of this.
They just got to make it to the other hill. How
Well,
far is that?
no, well, I don't think
Bank to
we're.
bank.
Are we going out? I think
was
we're
just
gonna have to
thinking-
go across.
That's what I meant.
We'll still have to go across.
Bank
Well,
to
the hill
bank.
goes this way. We're launching from the
There's not
hill.
one on the other side.
Well, there is, but they would be running away from us.
Okay. Yeah, we just need some
I mean-
elevated platform.
Yeah, but we need them to run sideways. We need them to run perpendicular with us. So
Either way, it's
I'm
a
in
good-
there. I
it's a
like it.
good
That's
idea.
that's better than my idea. That was what this was a storm or
That's all
you
we
know.
got to do. We got to revamp Coach's trailer out here
Mhm.
into a death race kind of thing, to where you could have the.
Or like a pitching machine.
We could mix up my. Well,
or
we,
the football one.
listen, we can mix up my hitchhiking show with the Top Golf one.
So that they were like, hey, you just won. a
I got
chance to be on
so
this
it's
game show.
hitchhikers that are our guys running. One, we know they're going to be malnutrition. They're going to
You
be
wanna-
slow.
Well, I mean, on that movie, that's what they
Exactly,
do. is
but
homeless
we're not
people.
using homeless. We're using hitchhikers.
Same
Step
thing.
right up and earn your seat on the bus.
Yep. Who wants to compete for a chance to get to Salina?
I think it was this chick walked by at work today, but for some reason I wrote down thick thighs, starting fires, and other things you need for survival. Like
Very thick thighs.
no, like so I was just thinking like you're got to go to an island, like you got to take one thing, and I need a fire starter. But can I pick like a chick with thick thighs and a pair of jeans, and she could be my fire starter?
Yeah.
And how come nobody's?
Well, that's the
patented-
thing. Chicks don't want no more. They don't want thigh gaps no more.
They don't want thigh gaps. They
No.
want thighs together.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just noticed it was when she walked by. It was
Mhm.
and it was just short of like I thought about not to be weird, but like walking like close under with a piece of paper and just seeing if it would catch fire.
Yeah. Get some heat off of this thing.
Yeah,
Well, like
that's-
you get
that's-
tired rubbing the sticks.
That's why corduroys went out of popularity.
Too many people starting fires once America got thick.
Yeah, we are definitely a thicker country than we used to be. That's for sure.
Well, I think other than I did go to I'm going to call it a swamp meet because I went with after work Saturday. I went to a swap meet with a guy from work, and there was some. I bought and I didn't bring it. I bought a sign and I bought some sort of beer opening things I use as handles. But there was people selling shit that they dug out of the trash.
Where was this at?
Century 2 is huge. That made it.
Oh, I saw that.
That made it worse, and they could have put it in one area, but I think they wanted to make it look bigger, so they stretched it out through the 3 rooms there.
So it's like,
But I swear to God, there was
What's like the most expensive thing you saw there?
well, they had some new like car lifts there that were ridiculous. But I mean, like there was one guy I almost waited for after to beat his ass because he was selling what he apparently went around to bars going out of business. So he was selling like the pool table overhang lights and then like bar tabs. And there was one that made me think of you and one made me think of you. And like there was this UFO beer and I thought it would fit your area good. It was like a bar tab and had a UFO and it was pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
Dude wanted like $50 for it.
For a draft pull?
Yes.
Wow.
And then there was one for you
You're talking
that,
about like a
yes.
Oh, okay.
And then there was one that was like a Schlitzenbomber or something that made me think of him. And it had ovens on it and everything. And
No.
Can't say that anymore.
I did what? And
He hasn't said it any less.
I didn't. Yeah, I was gonna say first time I've ever said it. So I started to haggle with him, and somebody else was, and he's like, "Yeah, prices are the prices. You know, these things aren't getting cheaper." And I'm like, "Dude, you either stole them or fucking went to a bar that went out of business and like you tore it down, and you got these for free.
Yeah.
So let me haggle with you and sell me both of them for $35."
Did you try to Jew on the Schlitzenbugger one?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. He knew where he stood on that one.
Yeah.
It was like that's what I said. Like you'd think that one would be on the fire cell, but it
Yeah,
wasn't.
No, no.
And then there was like, I bet there was at least 3 booths that literally I could have walked around, not even a nice neighborhood, a average neighborhood, and dug in their trash. Went to 5 businesses, dug in theirs, and then set up a booth with nicer stuff for less money than some of these people. I mean, like they would dig literally like a bike frame out of the trash that was a 2012 bike frame that they got rusty because it's been sitting in the trash, and they're like, vintage bike, $200, or
Seriously?
oh, there was some stuff. There were some people that had some decent, deals and signs, but even like they had a Harbor Freight. If you're local, I don't know what your local shit tool store is, but they had basically the Harbor Freight of tools on a display there, more expensive. I'm like, I finally looked at the guy, I said, what justifies that? Because people are selling trash for expensive, you thought,
Yeah,
like
you think your shit's worth that too?
my highlight of it was I did get a sign that says talk is cheap. Watching the old guy I was with look at Hot Wheels, which was probably the best thing they had there was vintage Hot Wheels, and a couple guys had some of that stuff.
Yeah.
One guy literally had like a pile of shit, like from a salvage yard on the ground. It was like, name your price. I mean, you can't. He was the guy I was the most proud of. You can't fault him because I walked up and there was a door there.
Yeah.
Dents in it, like off of like an '82 Oldsmobile. He's like, rare. And I said, $7. And he's like, man, I'd have to get at least 50. And I said, okay. And he's like, you go any higher? I said, no, 5 now.
Yeah. You went backwards.
Yeah. And he goes, man. I said, I don't want it. I just wanted to offer you something for a dented door, I mean, there was a couple people that had like some cool car. I mean, there were some people that had nice stuff, but there was, 3 or
You
4.
have to pay to get into this
It was
thing?
$8.
$8?
Yeah.
They
So-
have snacks there?
So here's what I'll say. I
I
paid.
bet they weren't free.
Nope.
Oh, shit.
I paid $16 to get in because I paid for the guy that goes with me.
Yeah.
Because the deal is he always buys me food there.
Okay.
So I paid $8 for him to get
Did
in.
you get nachos?
Nope, he bought
Popcorn?
me a $6 thing of almonds. They got the they're like
hot, like
the
in a-
roasted with
like in
the
a-
sugar,
Uh-huh.
and they're in a big cone.
Is it
and-
good?
Oh, they're super good. And then I don't remember. I got a beer.
Honey roasted almonds.
There we go.
Yeah.
Something like that. And they got crunchies on them. And
Speaking of that, did you see that the Windsurge have all these deals coming up now? So Tuesdays are 2 for Tuesdays, ticket prices.
All right.
$1 hot dogs.
ooh,
And then like Wednesdays they have like a beer night, like where beer's like $6.
There
or
we go.
Like a big So they got all these different little specials now because we're
so you get one beer for the 6-pack price.
like buy one get one free or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. There's all these new little things, but yeah. So we're owned by a different team, a different
Yeah,
owner now,
we're
so,
different. Yeah. Well, we'll go to some games this year, and we did a podcast right after one of the games we went to this year. It was a good show, and we had a good time. So
Yeah.
and good beers. We had great seats. Then I'll work on getting us some more free
I
seats.
know. I
so.
can't. Even, I've tried to buy those tickets. I cannot find where you even buy them.
I think you have to literally be part of that club.
Oh,
You have to get part of that club to do them. So
we'll have to get Corey to hook us up.
Before we go, because I took the time to do it, you had one more story, but it was about a 82-year-old boxer trying to get a retry in Japan, a retrial.
Retrial.
I thought you said reach around.
That too, and that was I want him to do that because I think he'll cover it well. But 3 stories, and I don't even care if we do them. But I had a helicopter pull-up record, Guinness World Record for most pull-ups on while hanging off a helicopter. Give me the last shot, the longest basketball shot made. I don't know if you've watched anything. Guy made it 85 foot behind his back shot, and it's the Guinness Book record. And then yoga, so easy, even a 7-year-old can do it. In fact, the 7-year-old's the teacher of this class.
I did see my cousin Steph Curry throw one from the, what do you call it, the tunnel, and hit some ball boy in the fucking head with it. Did you see that? He was like shooting from the tunnel, which is like 30 feet off the court.
He does it all the
And
time,
there was but he was throwing it full court.
Yeah.
And he hit some ball boy.
Knocked him silly, I'm sure.
That hurt.
Armenian man does 32 pull-ups from a helicopter in 1 minute.
See, these are the things about these stories. Like, not only are they
An Armenian
big numbers, but fast.
athlete broke the Guinness World Record. He's the 3rd person to try it, and the other 2 died as he clung to the skids of a helicopter and performed 32 pull-ups in 1 minute.
How big of a feller is he?
It wasn't a very big guy, no.
I think Armenians are small people.
Yeah,
aren't they?
something is his name. Took the record for most pull-ups on a helicopter in 1 minute. I don't even know how you'd say that. Yemzap Holoyan. I don't know.
Anderson.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Paul Anderson, who trained for the world record with fellow Armenian Guinness World Record holders, completed the record Saturday. So that was the one I picked. And then
I like that one.
The basketball shot was just a dude that was going around, but he threw it over his back 85 feet. So basically from the corner of the other end, like goal, over his back.
Isn't a court 90 feet?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I think it's 90-something feet.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying he was like in the dead corner.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he stood. Okay, he was in the corner of the paint.
Okay, that makes sense. Yep. He's
No
like from
look.
the ring.
Behind his back, full court,
Drained it.
drained it.
My man.
All right. Skin Man, we're going to go out with your story,
All right.
if you have it.
I do.
He does.
News, let's get man.
Skin News.
Japan court orders retrial for 87-year-old death row ex-boxer. Tokyo's High Court on Monday ordered a retrial for an 87-year-old former boxer who has been on death row for more than 5 decades after his murder conviction that his lawyer said was based on forced confession and fabricated evidence. Tokyo High Court said Iao Anderson deserves a retrial because of possibility that a key evidence that led to his conviction could have been fabricated by investigators, according to a statement from the Japan Bar Association.
They love boxers over there, so you knew he's going to get a retry.
Just took a while.
Yeah, only 5 decades on death row.
He has been temporarily released since 2014, but still not cleared of charges.
Well, then why would you even
That's
want to
almost
retrial?
10 years.
I was going to say, why would you even want a retrial if you're out? I would hope that, like, I just hope they forget, you know, like, I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
Or that, or maybe he can't get his boxing license back until.
I think they need to give him back his boxing license because watching an 87-year-old boxer would be all technique.
I just like that he's
fun to watch.
I just like that he spent 5 years on death row or 50 years on death row before getting a retrial.
Yeah, that wouldn't stand in Texas.
He'd have been executed.
His
by the
defense-
way, we found news he was not guilty.
My bad.
It's like, oh, he wasn't even in town that weekend.
Did we get to all your stories, buddy?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, I did see something. I did have something just for you.
And we didn't cover XFL. My team can't win. They're 0-4. Your team's 1-1.
We got beat by Skin Man's.
Yeah, Skin Man's team got to win. By far
Skin Dragons. We both said it.
the DC Defenders and the Roughnecks are already by far the two best teams, blowing just everybody out.
I saw the Battlehawks had 38,000 people at their game.
Yeah, and the Defenders, they sold out. They have a smaller stadium. They're 3-1 now, so you have 3 really good teams and then 5 teams playing.
Yeah.
My team went back to their quarterback that they started with, and then still just couldn't do shit.
Well, that's all I got.
Well, appreciate it. We got to everything on the list. You got to learn the origin of Skin Man. So now when you join us, you'll know where Skin Man came from.
Now we know.
TJ got a nickname. He's now going to go from now on. We're going to call him TJ.
Yep.
And if hopefully, but I don't think I'll have an episode of the Hitchhiker podcast before next show. But if so, either catch me here or on the Hitchhiker podcast. Thanks, guys. I'll try this way. No, I can't do that one. That's why I'd been doing this one.
And I'll finish with this. Throughout my life, I've done alcohol and I've done marijuana. I'm a product of the 60s. And I can assure you, I've misbehaved far more on alcohol than I ever have on marijuana.